Hello everybody, and this is Yusef for Video Game Plot Summaries, and the game is El Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron. I find that the lore of this story is a little interesting, because the Book of Enoch is a Judeo-Christian book, but it's not canon to the Bible or the Torah for some reason. Some people speculate that Catholics took it out because Enoch is cooler than Jesus, but that doesn't explain why Jewish people don't like it. I say the more stories, the better. Anyway, in the Book of Enoch, Enoch is this super righteous guy, and he is the great-grandfather of Noah. Enoch is so good at being righteous that God brings him to heaven without dying and makes him an angel. Enoch now has the position of being Metatron, which is God's personal assistant. He keeps track of all the ancient treasures, and he is also the highest level of general in the Lord's army. And so he basically is a combination of Indiana Jones and King Leonidas from 300, right? So in case you didn't know, anytime there is a problem in heaven, it's usually because the angels have a problem with their role. Humans, after all, were made in God's image, so they are better than angels. Even if we're broke hobos laying on the side of the street, at least we are born with a choice. Angels apparently are only created to watch humans and keep them from dying before it's their time. So an angel named Semyaza convinced 6 other Grigori, or Watchers, to fly down to Earth with shards of knowledge so that they can live as kings. I mean, they go hard in the paint, too. They use the shard's advanced knowledge to teach man how to make weapons and start wars. They have hot, sweaty relations with humans and have mixed children, which you think would be pretty cool to be half angel and half human, but in this game, the children look more as if the humans had sex with the condoms they should be wearing, if you know what I mean. I'm just saying, if I had sex with an angel and a kid came out looking like that, I would want a blood test just to be sure. Anyway, this is the reason why man has such an appetite for destruction, because of these 7 douchebag angels who wanted to be special. So of course God is pretty pissed off about this, and since we're talking about AWOL angels and stolen treasures, there's only one man for the job. Enoch has a handler named Lucifer who reports to God, and archangels disguised as swans to watch over him. So Enoch and Lucifer go down to Earth on the heavenly elevator, and Enoch is briefed on the perps. There is Semyaza, the elder of the council, Barakel, Arakel, Sariel, Armaros, Ezekiel, and Azazel, the leader of the Grigori. The moment the briefing is over, Enoch and Lucifer are attacked. The fallen angels knew God would be sending somebody to get them. Seriously, Enoch spends 336 years searching for the tower where the angels are hiding. He's immortal, so he's had to change his name several times to keep the fallen angels from finding him. One day, Enoch, Lucifer, and the archangels find a lake that has been around for exactly 336 years. Probably the crater where the fallen angels landed. They do a little investigating and find a person who is from that tower, so they know they're on the right track. But before he can take that trip to where he thinks the tower is, he's pulled into another dimension and attacked by Azazel. When Enoch proved to be a little more troubled than he's worth, Azazel knocks him back out of the dimension with a warning to stop looking for them, or else. Like Enoch has a choice. I mean, he does have a choice because he's human, but what is he supposed to do? Hang around the earth for all eternity? He's been ready to go back home to his desk job. I mean, you saw how piled up the work was before he left. And so Enoch heads to the huge, weird monument and breaks through the dimensional door to reveal the tower. It is time for the Metatron to ascend. The first level is where all the subjects live. They're having this kick-ass party. Sariel shows up to make sure you don't enjoy the festivities. He came to Earth because he wanted to experience love, but personally, I think this watcher has been watching too much porn. And Sariel proved to be sorry as hell, am I right? And Azazel calls him back. Then, all of the angels stare Enoch down as he walks through the gate into the tower. The next level, Enoch makes his way through the garden, whoops Sariel's butt again, and meets this girl riding a Nephilim named Nana. She explains that someone named Sin told her he was coming. She explains to Enoch that the Nephilim, the children of the seven angels and humans, are in pain all the time. They cannibalize the other Nephilim. Each one they eat turns the Nephilim into more and more of a tentacle-swinging, fire-spitting demon. It was so out of control that a woman named Ishtar appeared to try and save humanity from them, and even though she was a great warrior, she met her demise in the flames. Nana believes that Enoch is here to bring her back, but Enoch doesn't say anything and just walks on. After a while, a really wild giant pig with a mask on charges Enoch and Nana. They get separated for a second, and the archangels take this time to explain to Enoch that Nana is crucial in the resurrection of Ishtar. This is actually a very weird reference. So, Ishtar is the Mesopotamian goddess of war and fertility. We apparently celebrate a special day in her honor in which our children go looking for colored eggs. Ishtar, Easter. But in Christianity, we use it to celebrate Jesus rising from the dead or being resurrected. And this game is drawing a parallel between Jesus and Ishtar, I think. Anyway, the giant pig was one of two, and Enoch knocks them the fick out. Later, Lucifer tells us that this is Ezekiel's level, and the next one is Sariel, the Love Doctor's level. You know what that means, right? It's packed to the brim with his dang kids. Which is very scary because remember Nana said once the Nephilim start eating each other, they turn into fire-breathing, tentacle-swinging demons? Talk about sibling rivalry. Anyway, Enoch doesn't get far before Leave It In Sariel shows up pretty pissed that Enoch is in his nursery. By the way, throughout the game, the fallen angels test you randomly and then disappear. So it really has no bearing on the story, so I will stop bringing it up unless it is the final battle. Anyway, Sariel finds out that he can't beat Enoch as a human, so he gives up and transforms into a big bat monster. But alas, with the help of the Archangel Uriel, Enoch takes him down. But before he goes back to heaven, Sariel says goodbye to all the women who are trapped in that realm for loving him. It would be sad if he didn't have so many neglected kids running around eating each other. What a loser! Anyway, without Sariel, all his kids cease to exist. Thank God. In Barakel's level, Enoch witnesses the Nephilim transformation occur. Sin, the man Nana was talking about, meets up with Enoch and begs him to take out the demon Nephilim because of the destruction that they cause. Enoch catches up with the main big one and holy crap, it's huge. But don't get used to it, because right when Enoch defeats that one, a bigger one shows up and eats Enoch whole. Lucifer explains that this Nephilim ate Barakel, and that's how he got so powerful. So Enoch is about to get digested until Methuselah, the oldest man ever, shows up like, "Oh, that's why I'm still here in this monster's belly. I was going to teach you how to use the full extent of your powers." Then Methuselah pulls Enoch out, and Enoch summons some sort of holy ray cannon through a portal and eviscerates that hentai tentacle beast. Okay. Even Lucifer doesn't even know what the fick just happened. Anyway, Enoch moves through Azazel's realm, where everything looks like the first stage of Final Fantasy XIII. Azazel is proud of the advancement he has championed through the use of the wisdom shards. But whatever. Enoch no doubt taps into God's Deus Ex Machina power again and gets a crazy Tron bike and glowing armor to badass his way through the level. Anyway, on to the Armoros level. Armoros is an old friend of Enoch. Armoros listened to Enoch talk about being human. So Enoch might have had a direct hand in Amoros' decision to defect. At any rate, Enoch makes it up to Amoros, only to find that it's a big dance party and Enoch is the guest of honor. After all that crap, they fight, and right as Enoch is about to put them cuffs on your boy, Semyaza's voice shows up on the intercom. Enoch turns around and sees Nana get sucked into Semyaza's dark slime. Enoch charges headfirst into the darkness to save her, and even Amoros tries to stop him. But alas again, Enoch is trapped in the darkness and only one person can save him. Lucifer does his diligence as a handler, turns to Amoros, and tells him to do the human thing and choose to help his friend. The archangels agree to be Amoros' guide as he charges in after his friend Enoch. On the way, Amoros finds Nana. Lucifer tells him he's got it. When Amoros leaves, the spirit of Ishtar joins with Nana. You remember when Nana told Enoch that Ishtar got eaten by demon Nephilim flames? Well, her spirit was probably trapped in the darkness, and the only way to resurrect her would be to bring a vessel into the darkness for her. That's how I read it anyway. Amoros finally catches up to Enoch, but Enoch has already succumbed to the dark side. That's okay, because Amoros smacks the black off of him. Literally. Then, Lucifer grabs Enoch and then leaves Amoros' black butt to be consumed by darkness. Lucifer could have saved him too. That's cold as hell, man. So even though they rescued Enoch's body, his soul was still in turmoil. While Enoch's soul goes through the purification trials in heaven, time is passing away faster on Earth. During that time, Lucifer captured Arakel on his own. Nana, who is apparently blind the whole time, or recently blinded, I couldn't tell. Was that a seeing eye Nephilim that she was riding? Why was she riding it all the time anyway if it wasn't that? They were friends, right? Anyway. She spent more of her years living through Ezekiel's wars, and as she grew up, Ishtar, goddess of the war and fertility, was resurrected in Nana. When Ishtar spiritually contacts Enoch, she gives him the hope he needs to break out of his funk. Only one trial was left, and that's to face Nega Enoch. Enoch beats the trial and continues where he left off by going to the next level, Arakel's realm. In the realm, Ishtar is at war with Ezekiel. Enoch knows Ishtar is important, so he hauls butt to the battlefield. When he finally gets there, he sees that Ishtar failed and is now lying there covered in darkness. Well, don't worry anymore, Ishtar, because the cavalry has arrived. Enoch grabs Ishtar's staff and uses his Purify to open the door. He now faces Ezekiel, and she is one killer old lady. But of course, Enoch is hard-boiled and sends her back to heaven. So just in case you lost track, that's Sariel the lady lover, Barakel, who is eaten by his own Nephilim, Amaras, who was swallowed up by the darkness, Erikel, who was caught by Lucifer, and Ezekiel, the Mother Supreme. So that leaves Azazel and Semyaza. In Semyaza's realm, Enoch runs into Azazel pretty quickly. Enoch serves him humble pie until Azazel turns into a big insect. Then he starts to gather more insects for a bigger transformation, and lo and behold, an even bigger monster shows up and eats Azazel. The monster is none other than Semyaz. No, actually, it's Amaras from the darkness, all jacked up on steroids. In the middle of the fight, Enoch gets blasted with the darkness. His weapon lays corrupted on the floor as Enoch gets up and tries to fight Amaras bare-knuckled to no avail. Who should come through in the clutch but battle-damaged Ishtar, who made it all the way up to the top so that she could throw Enoch that weapon. Enoch, like a boss, purifies his weapon and God gives him the power to finish this. And with that, we will play the ending.
It is difficult to lose a friend, but you cannot mourn him now.
His device should open if she draws near. Ishtar, you are the key. Approach the device. Release Semyaza.
That's right. Nothing. Zilch, not a speck of his soul to be seen. Looks like their descent went wrong, right from the very beginning. Uh-huh. Hold on a second. Enoch! Aren't you forgetting you still have work to do here?
Along with his freedom, the Elders' plan to purify the world through a great flood was rescinded. Once again, people will freely make their own choices as they head down the natural road of evolution. And we, the Archangels, shall watch over them. For all eternity.
Hey, sorry about last time. Yep, it's a wrap. This will probably be my last report from this end. Okay, till next time.
All right, so that was the video game plot summary of El Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron. I gotta tell you, I really love this story. The whole, I mean, I'm a Christian, you know, and I know a fair amount about the Bible. I haven't read it all the way through or anything like that. But the whole idea of having a book, like a book of Enoch that only a small amount of Christianity actually considers canon in the book of the Bible. It's written and it's part of the scriptures, and everybody else just decided to remove it. It's just so intriguing to me. And then, you know, I mean, look, let's be real here. They whitewashed Enoch's character for damn sure. Now, I didn't pay attention to who created it, but Enoch had to be Middle Eastern, right? You know, isn't this where all that crap occurs? So how did he get into heaven? And then God was just like, yeah, you know what? I'm Hitler now, and you get to have blonde hair, blue eyes, fair skin, you know? Just weird. The outfits that they made for him were weird too. Like, you basically got a whole bunch of little shards of battle armor on you, but then underneath all you're wearing is jeans and sandals. Like, who the hell discovered that? Who thought that would be a great idea? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, who wants to fight in sandals? I mean, I know that they had people do that in, like, you know, what is it? Persian army, Sparta, whatever's, you know, they just got their little sandals on and they fought. But dude, don't let sandals be part of my fucking battle armor. If somebody steps on my foot, that would be like the end of my mobility, man. You gotta, no matter what, you gotta get your little battle armor, and you need your toes out. Anyway, yeah, that whole thing was pretty intriguing to me. And you know, the whole oh yeah, that's right, the ending, you know, Lucifer being the Simyaza and setting everything up with God in order to be free himself. You know, like he traded in all 6 of the angels so that he could be the last one, and he's all like, so we're done with our deal and I'm gonna be the one fallen angel. Like, that was an ill twist, even though, I mean, it wasn't much of a twist. The moment the handler told you that it was gonna be Lucifer was your handler, you was like, doesn't that sound a little too close to Lucifer? I bet that's Lucifer. Surprise, it was Lucifer, you know. It's crazy. But, you know, the story ended well. It was just all the beats inside the story that kind of made it a little messed up. The people who made the story in the game didn't do a very good job of explaining what it was, so it left a lot to interpretation, and I don't really like a lot of that in my stories. I mean, even if it's an art form, I want it to be a little bit of interpretation, and that mostly would lie in the motives of the main characters and things that need to happen. I don't need there to be a question about, you know, whether Lucifer was able to kill one of the angels or not. You know, a lot of these things became things that I had to like use deductive reasoning for. Like, I couldn't figure out who some of the like Lucifer caught the one angel. I couldn't figure out what angel that was until I started marking down on paper which angels were left. You know, and I just knocked it down to 2. I know Semyaza's the one who gets taken, or who turns into Lucifer at the end. So I'm like, okay, boom. So he's that guy, because we never see that guy die. So he's that angel. I shouldn't have to do that, you know. And they just tried to trick you a whole bunch of times, and you know, the vagueness of the story did kind of get to me. Fortunately, story's beautiful, music sounds great, everything was really awesome about this game, and I don't understand why people give it, you know, the shit that they do. They say it's all mediocre and stuff, and it's not as special as it needs to be. But I mean, you know, for the type of game it is, I'm surprised it didn't get more recognition. It's I wouldn't say it's super duper excellent, like on the top of my to-do list, but it's a game that's good enough to get your attention, and the story, as long as you do your research, is very intriguing, right? So anyway, that's good enough for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I would love to know what you think in the comments. Would you play? How many times have you played the game? And did the story make any more sense? Like the second time you played it, did you see anything extra? Like you were watching The Matrix? Did more things pop up into your head that you didn't see before? You know, what do you think about the character of Enoch? Do you think they made him correctly? And if they made him look more Arabic, do you think he would have looked, you know, like nobody? I mean, 'cause not many people bought the game before, but you think he would have sold less if he, you know, had like a stereotypical nose and an accent, even though they didn't let him say much? He only said like 3 sentences. Very weird, very weird. I always find it weird if the protagonist is silent, but somewhere in there he says a couple of damn sentences. Then it's like, so are you a silent protagonist or not? But anyway, yeah. Tell me what you guys thought about the game, if you played it, you know, all that stuff. And I will see you guys on the next video game plot summaries. Peace.